This is Dave. He really enjoys going to the movies. He's always considerate to his fellow moviegoers. This fellow is disturbing everyone around him. Oh, look, Dave is shutting off his phone. Now is not the time for talking or texting. Oh, well, now look at that. There's a true movie-watching friend. Let's all be more like Dave.
Welcome to Regal.
Victor! Yeah! I'm gonna be everything I want to be.
Felicie!
All the world has a dream, but dreams are not reality.
If you escape with me tonight, our dreams will come true.
Do you have a plan?
A brilliant plan! I call them chicken wings!
Chickens don't fly!
Good morning, sunshine!
Ew, when's the last time you brushed your teeth?
You will become the greatest dancer, and I will become the greatest inventor ever!
You're a weirdo. Are you the caretaker?
You can stay with me until you get on your feet.
Starting tomorrow, we'll have an audition in my new ballet.
Can you dance?
I think I can.
Training starts at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
5 a.m.? Do you think it was stupid to come to Paris?
Don't say that! We should never give up on our dreams.
So how do I get that part?
You get the part of some passion.
Tonight was a good performance.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm stretching.
What's he doing?
He's making the wrong face! Look who just sent me a text.
Addie McAllister?
What should I say? Just play it cool.
Welcome to the world inside your phone, where everyone is expected to act one way their whole life.
Aw, snap! Ow.
My name is Gene, and I'm supposed to be a meh. You know, like, meh, who cares? But my problem is, I have more than one emotion.
Check this out. Son, please tell me you weren't laughing just now. What if you get sent out on the phone making the wrong face?
Dad, I'll make the right face. Then I would finally fit in.
Sweetie, you're so handsome when you make that face. I think he's ready, Mel.
Meh.
That's our user, Alex.
We have an incoming text! We are go for men!
Who, me?
What's he doing?
He's making the wrong face!
Huh?
What the heck?
Welcome to the Loser Lounge, where the emojis who never get used hang out.
What's up, high five?
I'm an emoji. I've got to have some sort of purpose here.
I'm gonna help you. We need to get off the phone and find the source code.
Then I can fit in.
Let's roll! Bye, Felicia.
First, we have to get through this firewall. What's Alex's girlfriend's name again?
It was Tina.
Access denied.
Karen. Sarah. I want to say Lupita, but that doesn't feel right now. I'm saying it out loud.
I think you're pretty cool just the way you are.
Nobody leaves the phone! Delete them!
My feelings are huge. Maybe I'm meant to have more than just one emotion. Where am I?
Candy Crush. Divine. Sweet. Tasty. Delicious.
Oh, I'm never eating another piece of candy ever again.
High five, don't do it. Don't you do it. It's already been in there once.
Okay, son, what do we do after we go potty?
Should we wash our hands?
We're number 2. All right, well, welcome to our movie night here on the island. We're excited to kind of change up the pace a little bit tonight. And it's going to be, we're going to watch a little short documentary. And then after that, we'll actually worship later on in the meeting. So hopefully you're enjoying your popcorn. And I want to tell you I just want to talk to you for 1 minute before we start this documentary. This movie has not actually been released yet. We're getting to watch it tonight before it's been released. So this is technically a screening of the film. And it's about a guy named Matt. It's called Miracle Matt. And the cool thing is, Matt actually grew up right here on Schroon Lake. And you'll see in this film, I think at least 2 times, you'll actually see Word Life Island in the background of the shot. So it's kind of this fun little connection we have to this film. We weren't involved in making this film at all, but it's this fun connection that we have to this film called Miracle Matt. So enjoy your popcorn, and hopefully you guys will be really challenged by this powerful story. So if you guys are just getting here, come on in and find a seat. Can you guys bring some popcorn up to those guys that just got here? All right, so this is Miracle Matt.
You might not know my story, but if you do, you know I should be dead. Growing up in the backcountry of upstate New York, I got my start in water sports. I guess you could say I was a calculated adrenaline junkie. My family and I loved adventures. Skateboarding, boating, snowboarding, camping, fishing, you name it. At a young age, we moved to Florida. Between catching gators and being on the lake all the time, I quickly became a Floridian. The first time I tried wake skating, that was it for me. Before I knew it, all my dreams came true. I was a professional wake skater traveling the world doing what I love, endorsed by some of the biggest brands. But honestly, at the top, there was still something missing. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but my life felt somewhat selfish, kind of meaningless. I thought, this can't be it. At the top of my career, the adventure was losing its satisfaction. Up to this point in my life, I'd never even broken a bone. Not after years of competing in all my crazy adventures. I knew my limits and calculated the risks. Or so I thought.
We're here just outside of Orlando, Florida at the 2012 Byerly Toe Jam. We've got the top wake skaters representing from all around the world, and each and every...
All the best athletes in our sport would be there. I'd ridden here 100 times. I knew the lake well.
I saw his last trick, but I couldn't see what happened after it.
The lake was shaped like an hourglass, and as I was approaching the narrow section, one more trick.
And Matt Manzari setting up for his last trick of the pass. Can he squeeze it in? It's gonna be close to the shoreline. Folks, I'm not sure if he's gonna make it.
And I saw everybody on the dock who could see it start freaking out, saying that Matt fell, and it wasn't just a fall, he hit the shoreline. So I immediately hopped in my truck and just floored it down there. And I saw that he was lying down, barely breathing, and the swelling hadn't started yet. So I could see that his face was caved in from the rocks. And it didn't look anything like that. And I was terrified because I thought he was gonna die. And they said, yeah, you guys can go back and talk to him. He's like, they had him on a bunch of pain medicine, but he'd just woken up. And I just saw him.
My skull was shattered. My jaw, my tailbone, and hand were broken. Rebar punctured my leg, completely unconscious. Now I'm lying in a hospital.
When I walked in there for the first time, I just caught his eye, and he was awake, and he just looked at me and gave me a thumbs up. You could just tell it was him. It was a big deal.
As the doctors performed incredible reconstructive surgery, my body began to heal. I graduated college and my life was back on track. Looking at me, you wouldn't know I almost died. So much good was coming out of my accident, and I was so excited to share my story.
And Matt came out, and he hadn't ridden in like 6 months because of his accident, and he came out, and I didn't let him ride Battle Falls because I thought that he wasn't ready, and I didn't want him to get hurt trying to, ride too early. And it was like, it wasn't even a week after Battle Falls. We were filming for Kilgus's video out here, and Matt's like, all right, it's time for me to wake skate, and we were like, okay, go for it. And it was like he never had the accident at all. He just was riding just as good, if not better, than he was riding before.
Matt Manzari, a true Florida boy, hot-blooded through and through. He's here for competition and with one thing in mind.
I don't know that there was a defining moment for me until he asked me out that I was like, oh my gosh, Matt and I are gonna be together, because I didn't think he liked me very seriously. I was Bob, I was one of the guys. It was when he asked me out that I kind of freaked out and everything was said and done from there.
Matthew would, look at a situation, dip his toes in the water, think about it, and he was more like he would look at something he wanted to do, whether it was daredevilish or not, but he would actually create this in his mind. He would see it happening, he would figure out how he was gonna do it, how he was gonna make it work, and then he would do that. And that goes back to a very young age.
Oh, first time, baby! Yay, Matthew!
How much want to bet he tries to ski out of the wake?
I bet you're right. How about that? I know Matthew.
I was trimming trees at a local church. 1 minute, I was up in a high reach bucket. Next, I was waking up from a coma. Over 12,000 volts, arced over nearly 20 feet through the air and grounded to the metal bucket I was in. The electricity flowed in through my hands, ran through my chest, and blew out the top of my head. I had 4th and 5th degree burns, which means it burned through the muscle tissue and part of the bone. At a minimum, that's the equivalent of hooking me up to 6 electric chairs. When they found me, they saw me laying on the floor of the bucket, nowhere near the tree or the power line. All 4 tires of the high reach had exploded and melted to the cement. In a coma, it was my loved ones that suffered the most.
Your brain can't comprehend what you're seeing because you're seeing like a living skeleton. That's the only way I could explain it. And you're looking at the muscles, and you're looking at the bones, and you're looking at the rib cage.
Everything was black and charred, and it just didn't look human anymore, and he was just screaming.
Now the what-ifs were not about careers, plans, or what's next. They were, is there next?
I was seeing him go away before my eyes, and they held me back, and they were like, no, it's too bad, don't let her see. And I said, if I need to say goodbye, I need to say goodbye right now. And I knew he couldn't hear me, but I told him goodbye the best way I could. Because I didn't see how a person could look like that and ever be back to being human again.
As a father, watching all these doctors and all this equipment, all these surgeries, you feel helpless. I want to do something, and there's nothing I could do. This is so out of my realm of what I could handle.
And there were a lot of times that they were preparing me to say, hey, he's never gonna see his son.
We have people die every day and they wish they had more time. They have things they wish they said. It's not a matter of if, but when. The news I wish my wife never had to hear. The tears our parents never had to see. A son my mom and dad had lost. A widowed mother. My friends. The waiting room became a war room. Fear and hope, life and death. My room was more like a prison. Time was no longer counted by days, more like minutes, sometimes seconds. Doctors worked 24 hours to keep me alive. Nurses worked around the clock. My friends and family were forced to go to sleep.
I could look into his eyes and know what he's thinking. And I'm looking into his eyes and I see his fingers twitch a little bit. He wants to hold my hand. You know, he just wants to feel contact again. I thought, what if I just missed the last opportunity to ever hold my son's hand when that's all he wanted?
I remember the Monday morning that I came in for the week that I was on the burn service when I first started taking care of Matt. One of my partners had already kind of initially done some operations on Matt's burn wounds to debride him, and he had very large open wounds basically down to the muscle involving his arms and shoulders and chest. And we took him to the operating room that first day, and it was pretty impressive. I stood there for a few minutes wondering what we were going to do to close his wounds.
How could this person be alive? Like, this doesn't make sense. And I remember the first time they took that first bandage off, I didn't know how I was going to handle it.
With most of the muscles in my upper body dying, the surgeries were to cut away the dead muscle and prevent infection. Dressing changes were 3 times a day. They would have to scrub on top of open muscle tissue and bone. Although it was the most unbearable pain, only my dad remembers them.
As a dad, you're watching your son be tortured. That's what it is. It's like watching someone be tortured for 2 hours straight. And then you knew it was happening again in 6 hours. You'd never get used to those screams. To this day, I could hear them.
My walls were filled with cards, notes, support letters from all over the world. Not alone anymore. I was fueled by so much love.
I don't think they ever expected it, you know, and then all of a sudden Matt did start coming around, you know, in that, you know, 2nd to 3rd month time frame. And then you start seeing people be a little bit hopeful, like, you know, there's something different here.
When you're in a hospital room for months, those 4 walls become a prison. The littlest things mean so much. I'll never forget the first time I was able to give someone a hug. I gave my dad a hug and I never wanted to let go. My physical therapist and my wife snuck me outside. I wasn't allowed yet. As soon as they wheeled me out the door, I remember so clearly as the wind hit my legs, just bursting into tears, because I felt human again. I didn't feel like a machine. I didn't feel like just a product that was being worked on day in and day out. It felt real. I realized the little things we take for granted, like human touch, the smell of being outside, feeling of the wind, all of the gifts that we experience every day but never notice. Weeks became months. Hurdles overcame. Setbacks behind me. I wasn't giving up.
He was different than a lot of patients that I've ever had. Not one time did he say, like, I feel bad for myself. Like, I'm not going to get out of this. And that made me want to work, that much harder to take care of someone like him. And Matt's a big picture guy. Our goal was to set up little goals for him. I wanted him to be able to play his guitar. I wanted him to be able to dance with Bobby Jean. I wanted him to be able to hold his baby.
You're doing so well. Look up. There you go. Oh, look at that posture. Come on.
I think a lot of times he might have taught me a little bit more, helped me a little bit more than I helped him, and that's pretty incredible.
I realized I could be a miserable, bitter, defeated person, and it wasn't going to make me less electrocuted. It wasn't going to take the pain and the surgeries away. So, love you guys, and I'll see you on the other side. It wasn't going to change the reality that this might be it. If I was going to die, I was going to be remembered for who I was. I was going to spend every day pouring into my loved ones, fighting with everything I have. And at least if I died me. Faced with my own battle of time and pain, my perspective, my focus, my hope was becoming all that I had. It's hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel. It feels lonely. My identity as a professional wake skater wasn't enough. Having my world flipped upside down twice wasn't about me. My purpose and value isn't in what I do for a job or how successful I become. The first time I looked into Justice's eyes, I felt so much love, overwhelming love. I thought about my dad, looking at me lying there suffering, broken, bleeding, wanting so bad for me to be okay, but feeling helpless. When Jesus was on the cross, I pictured God, his Father, who could have helped, yet standing idle, choosing to let him suffer. The love I have for Justice, the love my dad has for me, does that even compare to the love he has for us? My value and identity are in him. My scars don't compare to his. My pain doesn't come close to his. His love is unconditional. His power is made perfect in my weakness. In him, I'm a new creation. Getting home and looking into the mirror for the first time, I realized the old me is gone.
First day of school.
The new me I like. It's just getting to know him. When tragedy struck, it should have ripped us apart. We came together. Our life and world was in shambles. You were stronger than I ever imagined. I'm sorry for the burden you had to carry. Sorry for the role you had to take and the price you had to pay. I'm sorry you had to put your needs aside. I'm sorry. Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, knowing we will never be who we were, but looking toward who we will be. Seeing you've always been there, always had a bigger picture. When we look to you, we realize we are all part of a much bigger story. You tell your story through us. If only we could see beyond our walls, we'd see the creator of it all. you.
Wow. What an amazing testimony is the life of Matt, of someone who faced not only one but two drastic circumstances in his life. And it's an encouragement for me to see the fact that he did not let those circumstances define him or stop him from fulfilling his purpose. In John 16:33, Jesus tells this to his disciples. He said, in this world, you're going to face circumstances. You're going to face trials. So the reality is, guys, each one of you, including myself, at one point in our life, we're going to face circumstances. We're going to face trials. But that verse also says this. Jesus also says that. He said, but have peace. Be of good courage, because I have overcome the world. So this is the reality. Yes, you will face trials. Yes, you will face hard circumstances. Yes, you will have hard moments. But have a good heart. Be of good courage. Have peace in the fact that Jesus Christ came to this world and was killed on the cross, resurrected the third day, defeated death, and He's now living inside of you. If you have made that decision. So the same God who defeated death is now living inside of you, and He's the one that's going to help you through those circumstances. He's the one who's going to allow you to be fearless when fear is showing at your doorstep of your life in the midst of your circumstance. So this is what we're going to do. The band is going to come up and we're going to sing a couple songs. So this is my encouragement for you guys. As they're singing the song, I want you guys to closely pay attention to the lyrics of the songs that they're singing, because they tell a message that can affect the life of each one of you guys if we take it for real. So.
right, awesome time of worship. What a powerful night. And it's really cool to hear Matt's story and then afterwards to worship and to sing those words. And they just feel so much heavier to me, but it's such an awesome way to worship God in response to that story. So I'm really excited that you guys could be here for that tonight. I want to just do a couple announcements for you. After we're done, we're dismissed. The party barge is going to be leaving from the front dock. So those of you who signed up for the party barge, don't forget, make sure you have your ticket. If you don't have your ticket, then they're not going to let you on. You should have enough time to run back and get your ticket if you need it. That's going to leave from the front dock in just a couple minutes. Also, during that time, Top of the Rock will be open. The Camp Store, Coffee House, and Snack Shack will be open tonight.
Complaciendo para todos los bailadores con esta rola que dice 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cut. And it's still 2 for Tuesday, so you can still get 2 candy bars for $2 tonight. And you will want to get some candy bars because then tonight we have comedy night on Word of Life Island. It's gonna be a hilarious night of laughter as we enjoy laughing at the most ridiculous group of people we could find. And then last announcement for you, tomorrow's dress up day is Tourist Day. Tourist. So if you're going for Cabin of the Week, make sure you come to breakfast tomorrow dressed up like a tourist and have a cheer for your cabin. And that is all. We will see you guys back here for comedy night in just a little bit. Thank you guys very much. You are dismissed.